Dr. Yoni Whitten here, and this week we're talking all about your shoulder. Now the shoulder is a really impressive and unique structure. On one hand, it offers more mobility than any other joint in your body. But the catch is that in order to give you all of that mobility, it had to sacrifice a lot in the way of stability. Now this lack of stability in the shoulder is what opens the door for pain and dysfunction. What I want to go over today is a couple of easy but really effective strategies that you can use to restore normal functionality to your shoulders and overcome long-standing pain. Now let's jump into this. One of the first things to happen when you experience pain or a musculoskeletal type injury is that your body will create this really intense muscular contraction, almost to the level of a spasm in the muscles surrounding the injury site. This is a self-protective mechanism. What your body's trying to do here is to lock that area down and make sure that you don't move it in such a way that re-injures you or takes a bad situation and makes it worse. So this is a really smart thing. Think of it as like your body's way of putting a cast on the area. Now the problem is that that cast can stay on and those muscle contractions can stay in place longer than what's necessary to actually repair any tissue damage. So a lot of times in the clinic, when I see people with chronic shoulder pain and dysfunction, they've got shoulders that don't move the way that they're supposed to, and it's been going on for months, years, or even decades. So the first order of business with dysfunctional shoulders and shoulder pain is to restore normal motion to the joint. My favorite way to do this is with the reverse arm circle. Now the purpose of the reverse arm circle is to provide a really gentle, rhythmic, and most importantly, pain-free motion to the shoulder joint. Keeping it pain-free is critical, and the rhythmic factor is also critical because this allows you to send repeated messages up to your brain that it's safe to move the joint again, that it's not going to hurt you. And what that's going to do is it's going to help that splinting reaction, those muscle contractions, to melt away over time. To perform the reverse arm circle, you're going to stand straight and tall, let your arms fall down along the sides of your body, and then from there, you're going to turn your palms so that they're facing forward. This is called bringing the shoulder into external rotation. You're turning outward here. And when you're as far outward as you can possibly get, you should notice a couple of things. First, your chest will be positioned way out in front of your shoulder when viewed from the side. And second, when you're as deep in that position as you can possibly get, these muscles are working really hard, so you should feel a buildup of tension right here at the back part of the shoulder. Now this is putting the shoulder into a super stable, safe position, and the ideal position to perform this exercise from. So once you're there, you're going to start making really slow, deliberate, small reverse circles at the shoulder. Now when I say reverse, it means that if you were in water, you would be trying to propel yourself this direction. So that's what you want to think of when you're performing this. Now the really important thing with the reverse arm circle is that you maintain that deep external rotation the whole time you're making arm circles. If that feels really easy to you, you can make the circle slightly larger, but make sure that all that motion takes place directly at the shoulder and that you stay far externally rotated the whole time you're performing the activity. Now, reverse arm circle, one of the best motions for taking frequent movement breaks throughout the day. You can get up once an hour if you work in a flexion-based activity that's driving, texting, time on laptops and computers. Get up once an hour and perform 20 to 50 of these. It's going to do wonders for bringing the functionality back into your shoulder joint. But what can happen when a person's been in pain for a long time is that you need something a little bit more. See, the limitation with reverse arm circles is that you get the benefit while you're doing them, and then for a little while afterwards, that lingering activation in the muscle will help to stabilize the shoulder joint, and you will build up equity over time. But what I like to do is combine the active rehabilitation with a passive rehabilitation that can work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without you having to do anything at all. And that's where a trusty roll of rock tape comes in. Let me show you how to tape your shoulder to maximize stability of the joint and help calm down those muscle spasms and get rid of long-standing shoulder pain. The purpose of rock taping is to increase stability by drawing the arm into the socket. This is going to help relax those muscle spasms and those contractions that contribute to so many chronic pain syndromes. Now, you're going to need 3 pieces of tape in order to do this. And if you'll notice here on my arm, you'll see that there are 3 red squares that are shown here. Now, you're going to take your roll of rock tape and you're going to measure from this top point, which is right at where your deltoid muscle here starts at the collarbone, and you're going to run it to where that deltoid muscle finishes. You're going to feel a little bump where that drops off. Now that's the deltoid tuberosity, and that's your first slice of tape, so you're going to trim right there. On the back, you're going to measure from this red square to the same deltoid tuberosity and trim again, and then the final piece of tape is going to run from red square to red square. So you're going to end up with those 3 pieces of tape, and this is how it's going to look. You're going to make sure that you round those edges because that's going to make sure that the tape stays on way longer. So once you've got your 3 strips, you're going to tear 2 inches from the back and peel that backing away. You're going to start off on the back in that first red square, and you're going to lay that tape down with no stretch. So once that's on, I like to use the backing to rub and activate the adhesive. And once the anchor is secure, you're going to pull the arm inward like so across your body, and you're going to draw that tape downward, applying 20 to 30% stretch, finishing right at that red square, and then you're going to use the backing to activate the adhesive. You're then going to take your second piece of tape, tear along the backing, and peel that first 2 inches away. And you're going to aim for that first red square there, right where the clavicle meets the deltoid. You're going to point that right at it, angling the tape downward towards the armpit. And then you're going to secure that by rubbing the adhesive really well. Okay, that's the anchor point, so you got to make sure it's down good and tight. From there, you're going to begin peeling your backing away, and I like to flip that tab backwards and use my thumb to draw downward, applying 20 to 30% stretch. Now, as you're applying this, your arm should be in a backward position like this, opening up the shoulder. And you're going to draw straight down and stick it right at that same square at the bottom. Use the backing to rub and activate the adhesive throughout the tape. Then your final strip is going to come right across the top. Take that tape, tear along the back tab, 2 inches from the end. You're going to lay that down right over the top. Then you're going to peel that center section just like that. You're going to draw forward on the tape, applying 20 to 30% stretch all the way. 2 inches from the end, you're going to stop stretching. You're going to lay that tape down with no stretch, nice and gentle there. And use your backing to activate the adhesive. That last strip is no stretch on the anchor on the back, no stretch on the front, and it's pulling on the top to decompress the acromioclavicular joint at the top of your shoulder. This one feels awesome. It also helps draw that shoulder into the socket. That's increasing stability at the shoulder joint, giving your shoulder joint a nice hug, and helping all those muscle spasms and contractures to relax 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there you have it, a super simple but very effective combination for knocking out long-standing shoulder pain. It's the perfect 1-2 combo. You get all the immediate benefits of the rock tape, adding stability, calming down those muscle spasms, and actually creating pain relief with the long-term benefits from the active rehabilitation and doing those reverse arm circles and building up strength and stability in the shoulder joint, all the while reinforcing to your brain that it's okay to move without the pain. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you'll put the information to good use. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on the new videos that come out each week where I teach you to achieve the best posture and mobility of your life. And if you're struggling with pain in your back or your shoulder or your foot or your ankle, you've got to check out the Pain Fix Protocol. This is the new science for permanently resolving these types of problems. I'm going to include links for the Pain Fix Protocol and for rock tape in the description down below, and we'll see you guys next week.